Yes, you got the email as well of the people who couldn't make it, but were recording for it.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Great. Everyone is here and ready to go, which looks good. You can have your tipple, your tea, your coffee, or your wine, Prosecco. I know some people, oh, Danielle's here as well. Some people are across the pond. Joanna, you're in the States. And Emma's down in Dublin. Good to have you. Anyone else, put in the chat if you want there, whereas everybody is. Tonight we are going to paint Narin Beach. I thought because this is the last one, I selfishly was going to make a place that I absolutely love and know well. Even if you haven't been there, I think you'll love it. I had 2 photos of my own that I love and I was going to work from, and then I found this one online, and we are going to work from it. So if you are here because someone bought it for you and you're like, I don't really know how to paint and I don't know what you're talking about, I lead you step by step, okay? And it's really just to have fun. We cram it into like an hour and a half. If you're here because you are artistic and you're like, I want to learn some new skills, I talk about freestyling. Just go wild, do whatever. If you want just the template of what we're doing, that's fine too. The way that it works is we do pencil, pastel, paint. Some of you who have been here from the beginning will know that it's kind of the rhythm of the way my workshops work, because I've been doing this for so long. I absolutely love that idea of pencil skills. And then the idea is we go to soft pastel or colored pencil if you have your own materials. I know a lot of you came in ticket B as well. So that means you've got your own pencils or soft pastels. And the idea is that if you, by the time we get to the final painting, obviously you're Picasso, right? That's my standard joke. But before that, it means that your brain is engaged and that it knows how to lay down the colors in a certain format. So painting by numbers, but not really, in a much more exciting manner. So without further ado, this is the image you're going to work from. You probably don't need to see my breakdown of colors on my tester. So I'm going to show you the image. What people tend to do whenever we were in person, what people would do is they would come up to the front. If we were doing a plant or whatever, they would take a photo of it. So if you have another device, you can take an image of this. The only reason that I'm suggesting that is because you can then use your other device in front of you if you're like, I'm a bit lost, I don't know what she's talking about, or I want to freestyle. You don't have to do this, but if you want to take a photo of this, is the image we're going to work from. Don't feel under any pressure. You're here for me to lead you, but just sometimes people in the past like to have it so that they can go from it. Okay. Great. Okay. It feels like we've already done a class already. That was such a big spiel. Okay, so the first thing that you need is you need your first page and you need a pencil. So this is a little warm-up. All you need is your page. If you got your pack, which again, a number of you have done in your pack, and again, I packed them, so please let them all be okay. Normally I can blame this on other people. There should be page 1, 2, and 3 in the top corner. I normally like to put, so your page 1 is just a printer page, flimsy little page, okay? If you're using your materials, just any page will do. The back of an envelope, this is just your warm-up. Okay, and you will need your pencil for this. So what this is even if you've been here from the very beginning, I know Anne is one of the people that's been, and there's Catherine Adamson, good to have you. You will know that this is something that I absolutely love to do, and it just gets your muscles warmed up, and you sort of forget about everything else that's going on, which is what I want for you in this class. Okay, so we're going to do large circles like this, round and round. You can go now, and I will count down from 10. Big circles on your page. Very simple. 10, 9, 8, 7. Round and round continuous circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Now, turn it over. Good thing is, even if I'm teaching like kids, old people or anything, I like to use this one. So the next one is the figure of 8. And what you're able to do this time is you're able to look at me, you're able to talk to the person beside you, you're able to look at your drink longingly and think, I can't wait for another sip. The reason being that your brain knows you're doing something different and your muscle memory will know. So from the top, big figures of 8, continuous. I'm going to use Sharpie. And you can look around because you don't need to do anything. Only let your brain do the work. 5, 4, 3. More drinks you have, the easier this gets to. 2, 1. Well done. Excellent. That's just your little warm up. So if you're in class with me or in class, I'll get you to throw it at me, but you can just chuck that behind you. If you are on ticket A, you will have a second page that will be a slightly different color. If you're on ticket B, you just need another page. You will also have your little pots of paint with ticket A, and on the very end of them, or else I will have cut them if they didn't fit in your tube, you will have 2 pastels. So you will have 2 little soft pastels. If you're on ticket B and you're using your own, 2 colors of any sort. If you're absolutely stuck and you're like, I don't have any pencils, you can just use a red pen and a blue pen. Okay. I like to feel like I can make it inclusive in every way. So these are your pastels. You need your page. This is number 2 on it, or else just a page. The people that got the ticket A, you will have a rougher side on the page that you have. That's called the teeth. So the idea is that it holds some of the particles of the soft pastel. It'll not hold all of them. This is the messiest bit of the class. So if you're wearing white trousers, beware. And the rough side we're going to use first. But this is our first demo, okay? Just excited because we're now going to get to the template, which is underneath. Sorry. Follow the template. So the way that I would break down any landscapes, because this is super speedy as well, it's not like we're spending lots of time figuring out our horizons. So we break it down into very simple steps. It looks complicated once we start, but anyway, this is how to start. So I'm going to start with you. I'm going to use Sharpie so that you can follow. You will need your pencil for this, and then you will have your soft pastels afterwards. I will use the Sharpie so you get to see it. The first thing we're going to do is about 1/3 of the way down, we're going to do our horizon. It's the best way to start with any landscape. So on your page with your pencil, doesn't matter if it's a straight line. Well done. Okay, underneath the horizon, because Narin Beach has it's basically like a little island over there. We're going to do an island. It's like a little Pac-Man, the way I've reduced the shape down. So the way that we do that is underneath, about 1 centimeter on the left-hand side underneath, you're going to come in and it's going to be like a little Pac-Man, like a beak. Okay. That's the left-hand side. Doesn't matter if it comes further out than mine. It's the beauty of the tide. Your tide might be further in than mine. Well done. And then on the other side, so if you kind of follow the mouth of that right along, you're going to just have a little skinny line here. And this is really where the other part of the beach is. So as if it's catching this disc in its mouth. I'm going to ruin this landscape for you by giving you these analogies. Okay. At the bottom of the mouth, this is where we're going to go across right to the other side.
Ali, can I just ask a question? Do you mind?
Yes. Yeah.
Is this our,
Yeah.
It's me, it's Louise. Or is this our actual start of our actual piece? Should I be using the piece? Or is this a...
Where are you, Louise? I see where you've gone. Sorry. Oh, hi. Sorry. Are you on ticket 2? Ticket B?
Yeah.
Yes. So no, this is not. This is pencil pastel paint. Sorry, I should have said that. This is not your Picasso piece. Well, Ali Hart piece. This is your second one. We're going to do one after this again. So don't waste your good canvas. Good question. Good question. Okay. So then we're going to do is above this one, we're going to do a little hill and down about to the middle. Beside that, a tiny little hill. And then you can just turn your pencil around and you're just going to do it like just take that out to the end, fill out your landscape to the end. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit wonky. That's the headland in the very distant distance. And lastly, we're going to bring underneath the beak here, you're going to just bring your beach down. So on the left-hand side, bring it right down to the middle. That is our basic shape, okay? Whenever it comes to the next one, we'll add in some green on this side. But what you're going to do now is your two pastels that you have, or your two, what did I set one? Your two colors, you should have two colors, okay? And the reason that I'm making you do this before you get to the paint is we mix our own colors in the paint, and with the pastel, and because you're restricted to two, it means you're sort of changing the language, because it's not going to be a blue sky and green, and the beach is going to be creams and yellows. You're changing it because you might have orange, you might have pinks, whatever two colors you have, you're going to just plant them down and fill in the blocks, okay? So let's just start. Take one color that you've got and you're just going to start. And the pastels, so just fill them in. Oh, for goodness sake. It's going forever. I'm going to change that over. So you're going to fill that in. Pastels, the way that they work, you can have them on, I talk about a thin road and a thick road. So your thin road will be when you hold it like a pencil, like this, between your two fingers, even if you're using oil pastels or whatever it is you have in your house. This is how you create a hard road, really, right? So that is by leaning down on it like a pencil, or you can turn it over for the thick road. Whereas when you drag it across and then you use your fingers to blend it. Any that have followed my YouTube will see that. So just get started with your two colors, fill in the areas, and I'll let you enjoy doing that and I'll stop talking at you. But the idea is, for now, get the colors on the page. Oof. And if you've got music on, turn it up loud. It's Friday. Friday. Use your pencil lines to guide where you want to have, but it doesn't matter if they blur over the top. Good. Another thing you can do is layer over the top. So you can put one color on top of the other, even if yours is colored pencils. I love adding colored pencils on top of each other too, because then your lines dig in nice and deep in some of them, do it nice and light in other ones. Good. And if you're doing pencils, I'm just going to give you a few techniques if you'd like. So some pencil marks you can do is thatching. So that just means you're drawing one way and then you're doing over the other. Okay, so it's like this for thatching. That's one good way if you're using colored pencils to do. And then what you can do is you can take your second color to go over the top of it, and then you just start to add in texture. Same way with the pastels, you can start to add in here, like I'm going to lean heavy for those hard lines to bring this island back in and to bring my wee Pac-Man island back in over here. Just draw the two colors in together. Brilliant. Just think of the placement of color, one on top of the other, and then enjoy blending with your fingers if you have the soft pastels. It's quite therapeutic. Mine's like the Red Sea, literally here. Good, you've another minute or so on that. So just any bits that don't have color, get color on there. If you've got it totally covered in color and you're like, I don't want to do anymore, take your pencil and go back over it. Oh, someone did ask a question. Please do, if you have any. Go back over it with your pencil. I love finishing paintings with pencil marks. It's one of my favorite things to do. So that can add your detail back in. You can add little walkers on the beach if you like at the foreground. Well done. Just about 30 seconds or so left. This is a super speedy bit before we get on to the paint. Good. Everyone's concentrating. Good. And just like hold it in front of you. Look at the headland is way, you want to push it back. So if you want to go back over it with color and push it back more, this is your playtime. Brilliant. Okay, so this is not for everyone to get marks out of 10, but if you can, put gallery view on your device. And then if you're happy to hold them up, this is just so you can see how everybody starts with the same template, but they look really different. Okay, this is not like class where I'm going to go around and mark everybody. I love to see it too, because then it makes me think I'm not just them. Yay, Rosaline, that's beautiful. And Louise, I can see it. Emma, brilliant. You see the way, look, everyone has these different colors. Patricia, that's beautiful, the greens and the texture. Yeah, Louise with the purples. Rachel McKelvey, great. So you can see, you scroll across everybody's. Nigel's, the lemons. Brilliant, Marianne. Excellent, Catherine too. Fab. Okay, so the next bit is, so if you've had soft pastels, they are so mucky. Baby wipes are the best thing to take off. Otherwise, do you want to go and clean your hands? And when you're there, get yourself a cup of water and a mixing plate if you haven't already done so. Or else just get yourself a drink if you're sitting pretty. So lovely to see people together getting to do it. So glad I got my second vaccine next week. I'm excited. You can give me a nose. Anybody vaccinated already? Few, great, good. Patricia's, Rosalina's, good. Shirley, did you say as well? Yeah, good. Although I'm next week and then I'm out on the day after for my friend's 40th, and I'm thinking, I hope that I'm okay. I wasn't great the first one round. Better be better vaccinated than not. Good. Lovely to see everyone. Right. So yes, clean your hands, and then your little paints, if you have them open. I just have them on my mixing plate for now. But if you open up your paints, if you got ticket A. Oh, Patricia said load up with the Oh, hi everyone. I haven't even looked at the chat. Sorry, Louise, you'd already asked that. Sorry. Just a piece of paper practicing the template. Nicola's on it there. Thank you for replying. And paracetamol, Patricia. I know. I will be. Maybe Prosecco will help that afterwards too. I just remember the first vaccine, I was like so tired, I was crawling. Anyway, better speaking about the vaccine than about COVID, because that wasn't nice. Great, everyone is back. So your page number 3, this is where it will come into action if you're on ticket A. It is what I'm using. I love this. This is what I use for my paintings. Anybody who is on here, and we have the subscription coming out next week. So I've got like a Ali Heart box with Bradbury graphics. They do send it worldwide. And inside that, I think I'm going to promote this for my classes too. So it's just $1 roundie, but it's mixed media for anybody that's interested. I know some of you or here in your room. Just any kind of mixed media will be nice. It absorbs the paint. So, because after this, you're going to paint every day, obviously. Okay. This is your ticket A. This is your page number 3. Paint's open. Water with your paintbrush in it. And your pencil you will need. Let's see. There are 2 ways you can do this. You can, oh, hi, Joanna's daughter, got company. Hi. Morning over there with you. What time is it? 2 afternoon. You have 2 options. You can follow me and we'll do it step by step like we did the first time around, or you can use your soft pastel piece and be like, oh, that's kind of what she's talking about. Actually, 3 options. Or you can use your phone that you took a photo with. I break everything down simply for you. So obviously I'm going to say, you know, stick with me, but once you've the horizon down, go for broke if you want to freestyle, because everyone's looking artistic. Okay, so like the last time, we're going to start with the horizon, and the way this works now is we're going to do the pencil template, and then this feels very fast, but once we get to the mixing of the color, which is after we do the template, it slows down slightly. It'll be like the end of the night, you're like, did that happen? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the horizon. 1/3 of the way down, straight across. Doesn't matter if it is not straight. Look at that. Speaking of not straight, mine is not straight. Then we've got our little Pac-Man, which is about 1 centimeter underneath the left-hand side. Now, this time you can, rather than it being very like a Pac-Man, why don't we do it coming out and then a little bit gentler and coming back in? So there's a bit more of a softness to it. Then on the other side, we're going to have that little bit coming in. And again, I just find sometimes letting your pencil, like rather than it being really tight grip there, if you let the pencil flow along a bit, it softens the line. Under the bottom of our Pac-Man, shouldn't say that, you're going to then draw that across. That's where the sandbank is there. Oh, it's the water. It's the water. It's the water. This is all water. And then we're going to do our hill in the background. Well, I'm sure it's like Arago or something. Okay, and down about to the middle. Well done. So when you stand in Narin Beach, there's about 5 or 6 different layers. We're just taking a few of them. If you're using the image that I've got, why don't you look at it, the detail of the here? And the best way I can say to do it is to go along the hardest line, which is really the line you're going to see the very top of if you want. Otherwise, I'm going to just do our own impression of it because I'm an artist and that's what I like to do. I'm going to do another little bump in the middle here, in the middle. And then again, turn your pencil on its side a wee bit on a softer edge just to bring it out the side. My horizon's shocking. If your horizon is as unstraight as mine, why don't you tighten that? I talk about tightening it up. Why don't you just straighten that off? There we go. Mine's a bit better looking now. Okay, and then again, pencil on the side, just nice and lightly. You're going to then take part of this underneath the little Pac-Man. You're going to draw that down here. That's where the sand is. And then it overlaps, but from the right-hand side, we didn't do this in the last one, underneath this second line. Don't worry if this all just feels like blur. You're going to paint over it anyway, okay? But this just gives the brain a bit of help. Underneath it, we're going to do, just cordon off the corner. Do it that way. That's the best way I can say to do it, because that's where your grass is going to be. And we can bring that grass over. Okay, if you want to be really fancy, you can add in a few little clouds. But that is your template. Oh, we forgot to sign our soft pastels. If you've got it near to you, would you sign it bottom right or bottom left? Just humor me, and that's good to have. Sign your little pastel piece, because then you feel like you're in the zone. Okay, now you need your paints. I have mine on the palette already, as long as you just have them open in front of you. If you're in ticket B, you will need red, blue, you've got a list, but red, blue, yellow, black, and white. It's something I pride myself on, and most artists, well, a lot of artists don't. I have a thing about shop bought greens, so I like to mix my own colours. I started it in my master's, and here we are. So every colour starts from these three colours on the colour wheel. Red, blue, and yellow. Don't ask me where the ones start before that. Someone did ask me that during a talk of hundreds of people once, and that was a bit embarrassing. But I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that they'll have started pigments anyway. Blue and yellow mix green. Blue and red mix purple. Red and yellow mix orange. So those are like your primary school basics, but a lot of people don't actually do them, and some schools don't even do them. So that's a really good place to start. And with that being said, you're going to take your brush and you're going to have your mixing plate and a bit of water on your brush. You're going to be sick of me saying, put some water on your brush. The reason that I'm going to say it so many times is it helps the paint move. Some paintings I like to use palette knife. Other paintings I love to use paintbrush, and when you have water or some kind of like solution, like that's my dilutant, which is for the oils, it pulls it across. So water will help you move. We're going to mix an orange to begin with. So water on your brush, take some yellow. So you just follow this step by step. Put it on your mixing plate, clean your brush. Now take some red, put it beside the yellow and mix together, and that is your first orange. You might get a blood orange, you might get a very yellowy orange, but just don't use loads of paint. So that's a good way to do it. I can say it's just you only need a little bit to mix your orange. Anybody that's totally used to this and wants to get started painting, please do, because time is precious. Clean your brush. Keep some water on it. Now we're going to mix our green. Take some yellow, put it down, clean your brush. Take some blue, put it down, and then mix the two together, and that is your green. Your green, my green's quite dark green. That means there's just a little bit more blue in it. Your green might be more lime green. That's okay. We're going to mix different greens. So well done. Clean your brush again. Now we're going to mix a purple. So this time you need some red. Put it on your mixing plate. Clean your brush. Some blue. Place it beside the red and then mix the two together. So this is called the secondary color wheel, when you have red, yellow, and blue, and then orange, green, and purple. So your purple might be like mine's an aubergine color. Yours might be more indigo. It just depends on what, whether you have more blue or more red. And I like to say these are your colors. So this is Danielle's red, and this are purple, and this is Pauline's green. So own it. These are your colors. So clean your brush again. We're going to mix lighter shades of these three colors in a minute. But for now, I want to show you how to mix a navy. So navy is something that people don't often think about. But when I was doing the demo for this, I would like the navy to be along the horizon. And navy is very simply blue. So clean your brush, take some blue, put it on your mixing plate, clean your brush. Then take the tiniest bit of black onto your brush and mix that black into your blue. Now it's a very basic navy, but if you get it right, it's lovely. It's more dark blue than navy, but you know, it's all the same. Right. Good. And just have water in your brush and get the feeling of really mixing the paint. So so you get a solid color. Good work. Clean your brush again. And now we're going to make just a sky blue. So I love the blue paints that I've sent out. They are, it's an ultramarine blue. This makes a lovely like cotton blue. So you're going to take some blue, set it on your mixing plate, clean your brush. You start to get a lot of colors here. And then you're going to take some white. You don't need lots of white. You will have more white in your pack because you need more of the lighter colors to make something lighter than you do. You can see how dominant the black is to make something darker. But take some white, just a little bit of white, and mix that with your blue, and then you'll get a lovely light blue. So even if your blue that you're using on ticket B is a different shade of blue, that's okay. It's still a lighter blue if you add white to it. Okay. I don't want everyone to be thrown by this, but turquoise is one of my favorite colors to mix. Turquoise can be really difficult to mix, but I don't want you to overthink it or to get annoyed by it. But it'll be so pretty when we put it onto our picture. The way we're going to do it is you have blue. So blue on your mixing plate, clean your brush. And then you're going to take a little bit of yellow. Okay, just a little bit of yellow, and you're going to mix that in. It's going to be mostly blue. Okay, so mix that together and you start to get this nice teal color. If you haven't got teal color, don't worry. This is just as long as you have blue with a tiny bit of yellow. That's the best way I can say. And if you're in pairs, one of you make it. And if someone gets it right, just stick with that. That's what I was saying. Okay. When you have this blue with a tiny bit of yellow, clean your brush and then take some white, a little bit of white, and add it to it, and then you start to get your nice turquoisey color. Now we can work at it again. So that's just, you're just mixing at this stage, but basically it's blue with a little bit of yellow. If you have a very lemon yellow like I do, then it will come up a little bit more turquoise. If you have a cadmium yellow, it will be slightly darker tone, but don't worry. It'll still be different color than the blue straight out of a tube, which is all that I want to see. So let's get started so that you don't get totally overwhelmed with color mixing. And I want you to put some water on your brush. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to, pardon me, take that nice cotton blue that we made. If you need to make a little bit more of it, please do. So that was just blue with a little bit of white. And if you're feeling fancy, you can clean your brush and add some white to one side of it, so you get two versions of it, because then it adds a little bit of like a harmony in the sky. So whatever blue you have on your brush, load it up, make sure there's water on your brush, and I just want you to commit to it, okay? It can be, everything can be painted over, everything's fixable, not what they say. This is your time just to add color to begin with, and we can just keep adding or take, not take away, but you can go over the top of. So first color, light blue, it's going to go on the sky, and you're going to take it the first band really of the sky. Okay, so just commit to it. If yours is darker than mine, that's okay. If it's lighter than mine, that's also okay. But we're going to do about 1.5 inches down. So you'll see I'll keep adding water. The reason being, and if you're using a canvas as well, you might need to make sure sometimes the canvas, it can be too watery on it, it turns like watercolor. So do make sure you have enough paint if you're in ticket B. And landscape, obviously. If you made a lighter blue or a darker, but whichever your second shade of blue is, mine's slightly lighter, you're going to bring that lighter one right down to the top of the headland, okay? So the more water you have, you can then pull one color up and pull the other color down. So you start to get this transparency here. That's just by water. It just means you're not committing to this big solid block of color. I like to use the word harmony. It adds to the harmony of a piece when you have some areas that have loads of paint and other areas that have more water. Well done. If in doubt at all, you're basically adding light blue to the top bit. Because I believe that everything that is in the sky is also reflected in the water, we have two bands of water here, okay? So just so your brain knows what it's at, take some of that blue. We're going to paint over it with turquoise anyway, because you probably gathered, love turquoise. This is water here, okay, on the bottom. So just put that on any which way on the bottom, just indicating that that's water. And then this is also, well, out of here's water as well. So some water on your brush. And then this is all water here. So then it just helps the brain know that, right, that's where the blues and the turquoise are going to be. There we go. So underneath where this was, yours might be higher up. That's okay. And then underneath here, this bit's the grass. This bit's the, oh, my goodness. Sorry, I just lost everybody there for a second. That was panic. Don't know what happened there. Good. I'm so glad that no one's even phased as well, because you're all so into your pieces. That's what I'd rather say. I thought the whole class had gone. Okay. Recuperate. This is where I need a drink. Brilliant. If you're freestyling, just all I would say about this is, why don't you look now at where you can add in some darker areas, or you can get started with the headland. But for everyone else, we are now going to take our navy, so the blue with a little bit of black in it. Clean your brush. It doesn't matter if there's residue on it. Can you see mine? There's a little bit of residue. I never mind that, because I actually do think that that helps the viewer when they're looking at there being a little bit of a language between all the colors. So load up your brush with the navy blue. And what we're going to do now is you're going to, where the horizon, of course, my horizon's a double horizon, but you're going to just, you can turn your brush on its side. You can do the fat edge if you want, the chunky edge, or you can turn it on its side and get that really hard line up to where the headland is. I want that to be as solid as you can make it. And then draw the color down again. There you go. If you've added the navy and you think that is too dark, you can take some of it off. You can add a little bit of white to your navy if you want, but remember, we're also going to be adding turquoise, so don't worry. Painting is about layers. With that navy as well, before you get rid of it off your brush, doesn't matter if it's on your brush, loads of it or not, as long as there's some of it on it, where the grass is here, okay, and then there's the water over here, can you add in just a few little areas of shadow? So bottom left, really, bottom left, take your navy and add in, a bit like the blue, you want to add in. We're just going to start, this is starting to build the layers. Good work, everyone. Good. Why don't we also, if you've got any left, I don't really have anything left. If you have anything left over here, so this is where this bit is a little bit of rocks. Under here, going to do the same. So underneath Mr. Pac-Man, where the water starts, just add in a wee bit of navy there. So we've got a headland here, and then this is really a shadow of the island underneath. And if you think, oh, I don't want to put any there, that's also okay. Have a drink, have water, but you can. I found these glasses in my mum's roof space from my granny from 1960. I think they're pretty awesome. Which is good. Okay, now what we are going to do is clean our brushes again. And you know that green that you have, that whether it's a light green, dark green, but it's the green that we mix at the very start. Waste not, want not. If you can bring it back to life by adding a little bit of water. Sometimes people use paper plates, which is probably what, well, it's a good thing to do. Sometimes they absorb it. If you're using a good bone china plate, you should be able to bring it back to life with a little bit of water. Don't use your finest plate. That has worked out badly in the past for people. But your green, whatever green you have, this is the first place we're going to add in the green, which is our little Pac-Man over here. So plant that down. Apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, Michael Jackson was going to buy this wee island. There's always like cows on it in this wee island. Don't know if that's true or not. My lines are very harsh because I have the Sharpie, but I would encourage you now at this stage to turn your brush on its side if you're using a flat brush, or everybody got the pack, and let the green come out a wee bit, soften those harsh edges, you know, there. So add a wee bit, doesn't matter if it goes over the pencil line. Just softens it because the grass is always quite lush, but we'll be going over the sand anyway there too. And the same with, well done everybody, you're doing well to keep up. Same with on the other side, a little bit of green on there too. It doesn't need to be the full thing because they're going to have the sand dune underneath. And if yours is bright lime green, that's fine. We're going to make a light green anyway in a minute. And then bottom right as you look at it, that's going to be green as well. I'll hold this up so you can see. There we go, starting to take shape. And don't forget water on your brush. Well done, everyone. Now, while we're on the greens, I would love to make a lime green. So the way to make the lime green, you'll never buy a shop bought green again, is you've already got your green. I'm going to mix a little bit of it again. So that's blue, clean your brush, and yellow. But now to make that a lime green, I'm going to take some yellow, take a good dose of yellow, and on one side of the green, mix that in, and then you start to get your nice lime green, mossy green color. And the good thing as well, I hope you learn from this too, is that you don't need white to make something lighter. You can use yellow or you can use blue to make things, and red to make things darker. So that is the light green. Clean your brush. And then what you're going to do is take some blue, and on the other side of this green, you're going to make your dark green. Now mine really is starting to be very bluey, but that's okay. Can you see there I have 3 shades of green? It doesn't matter as long as you have 3 shades of green. Standard green, one green with a little bit more yellow, another green with a little bit more blue. And if you're like, nope, I've only got 2 greens, that's also okay. Take that dark green now. We're going to add it to the back headland here, the very back, the very first one. Like mine's basically blue looking. Do you see mine? So your dark green, that's going to be here. And you can turn your brush and add a little bit as well, maybe the top line of the other side for your dark green. Sometimes I think, why do I do difficult beaches? Like we could just do a beach that is sky, water, sand, but this is much more interesting. It's a nice Irish beach. With that dark green as well, what you're going to do is you're going to add in this little bit of green over here. See the top of it? Can you make it nice and dark? Don't go right over the top of all of your green, but on both the little Pac-Man and the other bit at the back, I want you just to add in texture. So turn your brush on its side, and like once you just start, headland's very rugged. It's not all one block color. So you're just turning your brush on its side and you're laying down another color. Do you see that? Well done. And in the foreground here, that dark green as well, you can add in a little bit of rugged. Good work, everyone. Okay, doing well. Now we're going to add in a little bit of lime green, then we'll have a breather. Well, like a 10-second one. No, I'm just kidding, a proper breather. Take your lime green now. So that's your green like this with a lot of the light, it's light color in it. So it's the lightest green. Take your light green. I love lime green. You'll see from many of my paintings, lime greens, purples, pinks. They're accents that I absolutely love to think to bring a piece to life, especially if you're doing an Irish landscape. You're going to have those really strong greens. So easiest way to do it is to look at the darkest shade of green that you have, and you can top it with some of the light green, or else if you think I just want that all to be bright green, you can put it right over the top. What I'm going to do is there's a lot of shadows from the clouds, so I'm going to line the top of this one. Can you see a little bit there? And again, no real rhyme or reason, just where the sun has hit it. Think about it that way too. So underneath a dark bit, there'll be a light bit, or in between a dark bit, there'll be a light bit. Let the lime green bring the grass to life. And also there's green in the headland here, so feel free to add some of that on the furthest bit away. Maybe add some water to your brush so it mutes it a little bit, because the distance is always a little bit hazier. More hazy, a little bit more hazy. My husband would tell me there's no such thing as hazier. Good work, everyone. Now, again, not marks out of 10, but do you want to do gallery view and hold it up just so you can see, or can I even just see how you're getting on? I love to see all the different shades of blue. Have a drink. Fab, Mark and Ruth. Ruth, who works for me, is down there as well. Such a good team. And Danielle, well done. Oh, Michael, they're beautiful colours. Great, Marianne, lovely. Gorgeous. Good work, everyone. Shirley. Oh, wow, they're brilliant. Everyone has more depth than I do as well. Pat, that's brilliant. Jillian. Oh, well done. Great, everyone. Right, we're on the right track. Have a drink. If you want to clean your water, now is a good time. Your water will start to get really murky. Mine is. I'm a lazy water changer. So much so that I dropped. I'm just in talks about getting a new studio, which I need ASAP because I'm bursting out of this one. But I spilt a cup of my brush cleaner, which is for my oils. Luckily, it smells like orange, but it covered a lot of documents, which wasn't clever. Okay, good work. If you're totally into it, please keep adding color, add in another layer, another shade of green. That's a really good way to start. Another layer of blue if you want. I can see some of you are absolutely in the zone, which is great. Your light could be a lot better if you just be quiet, Ali. Right. Okay, the whole thing is like a traditional, I like to say traditional with a bit of a twist. So let's get the last of the traditional down and then we can add in the fun bits at the end, the finishers. Okay, clean your brush, bring to life your purple that you had, or else make a new purple, but your standard purple. Doesn't matter if it's an aubergine color, doesn't matter if it's really indigo. For now, just take the purple that you have, load it onto your brush, and we're revisiting where the green is again here. You're going to turn your brush on its side. If you're on a, where's my other brushes? If you're on a round brush, just you're going to use it to the very tip of it. But if you're on the flat brush like we are, which I love, a flat brush, you're going to turn it on its side and you're going to line just above the line of the, where the water and the island meet. Okay. And you can dot it a little bit so that, here we go. So mine looks very brown at the minute. Brown is a mixture of what we're using, but this is the purple for now. Well done. And then I'm gonna line the underneath the back bit as well there. See that? Because it's like a little divide. Okay, and lastly over here as well, little bank coming out. And just above the horizon on the right hand side, that's where I'm going to add in some more depth there. So just above where the navy is. I was reading an article actually about the trick of the eye and about pushing some colors back and bring some colors forward. So we'll end up going over that actually, which then will push it further into the background. But for now, that's your purple. Good work. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to mix 2 shades of purple. So you will need clean brush and a little bit of blue. It's good, fast paced. And then on the purple, one side of that, you're going to add in your blue. Now, you might already have a very blue purple. If you do, add a little bit more red maybe to it, but we're going to add more red to the other one anyway and bring it a lighter one. There we go, getting that real indigo color. Clean your brush. Then you're going to take some red, and on the other side, you're going to mix it in, and then you start to get this real light. There's virtually no blue in that one of mine. There you go. As long as you have a few shades of purple. And what we've done, whenever we're adding in these extras, the light version and the dark version, you're actually under the tertiary wheel. So it goes primary wheel, secondary wheel, tertiary wheel. And with that lighter red that we have, oops, forgot to do the last bit. Like it's nice and all, but we're not going to really use that for, I'm not going to use that for anything on this painting. Clean your brush pretty well if you can. And you're going to take some white this time. You're going to mix that into the lighter pinky purpley one. I'll add a wee bit more blue to mine. And it starts to make a really nice, soft, I just think that's lovely. Okay. If you're totally stuck and you think, what are you talking about? Just add some white to some of your purple. Any of your purples. Okay, and what you're going to do with that nice purple is add it to this patch of headland above the dark purple. I just think that's beautiful. And see just over here on the other side, you can add in another little hill over here. So then you can see that sometimes the hills roll behind and they come out the other side. So that's on the left hand side. I just added in an extra little hill if you want. Okay, good work. So keep that light purple on your brush. And what we're going to do now is, you see just above, see where the sand is. So sand is, yes, it's very much like a peachy color. My dog, Mimi. Sorry, it's a peachy color. But then there's also grey tones to that. So we're going to add some black to a peach later, but there's also purple. So my point is, before my dog, I'm going to just have to close the door. I have the door open because I always panic that the Wi-Fi doesn't reach, you know, like that old school feel of it. Anyway, for now, while I go and sort the dog out, which is coming back in, you're going to add in some purple along here. If you find it's too invasive here, put some water on, so that, remember, we'll be painting over it, but put some water on it so it's a bit more transparency down the front. There you go. It's okay, she's quiet. Pain on the bum. And lastly, some purple over here where the dark purple was on the, this is some sand over here too, on the left-hand side island. Well done. We're going to leave the really dark purple and we're going to come back to that. But for now, you're going to clean your brush and we're going to do that sand that I was just talking about there. So, sand is going to start with the orange that you have. Okay, orange. Again, we're going to make 2 shades of that. You probably don't need me to guide you through that. What we're going to do is, on one side, you're going to add more yellow, clean your brush. On the other side, you're going to add a little bit more red. So I'm going to start with yellow. And then you start to get peachy colors. So that's the lighter one. Clean your brush. And then some red on the other side. It starts to become like a blood orange. Fire, real fiery color. Because I don't like the waste color, clean your brush and just take the lighter orange, you know, the lighter one that you've got there. Just add a little bit of that on. And then we're going to put it in the, see the far headland? Add it in there, and look, it starts to bring here to life a little bit, okay? Just starts to keep that up. So that's a little bit of your light orange on there. And in the foreground, oh, you can add some too. I'm going to go over that anyway. Right, so this again takes a little bit of concentration, but you'll be fine. You're all great so far. I haven't even got to the turquoise yet. The orange, what you're going to do is you're going to add a tiny bit of black. Remember I was saying you need very little of the black to make it. So just touch your brush into the black, tiny bit. And you're going to mix that into your orange that you have there. So what it starts to do is it just makes it like a muggy orange, a bit dirty looking, dirty orange. Okay, so clean your brush then again. Clean it really well, because you're now going to take white. You're going to take quite a significant amount of white. And you're going to mix that into that muggy orange. If you ever find that you're like trapped in a color, just lift it up, set it to the side, and then add more of your white on it. Sometimes people are like, oh, or like when I'm working with kids and the whole palette is like covered in one color, brown, everything changes to brown. Just lift it up and set it to the side and don't panic. This is still too peachy for me. So what I'm going to do is clean my brush and add a tiny bit more black to it. Tiny bit. So you still, oh dear, not a tiny bit. Mine's more grey now. It's okay. It's all fixable. Take some white. It's all the game of mixing. I'm going to draw a bit of that in. Okay, you'll have some shade like this, okay? If you're really stuck, you're mixing an orange with white and a tiny bit of black. And just mix it so you get some shade. And when you have that color, you're going to go in here where this last section is. And that's where our sand is. And again, water on your brush to take it over the top of the purple. You just want a little bit of the purple coming through. I'm going to mix a little bit more. So it's peach with white. And if you mix another shade and it's slightly different again, that's okay. Okay, you don't need to have flat colors in this. So mine's slightly different this time. Oopsie. And then along the bottom of the island here, this little island here, like I've just put some on the right hand side. That's where your sand dune is. Same over here. I'm going to add in some sand. You can bring your sand down into from here. You can actually, I'm going to bring my line up a wee bit. You can change where your line is. And then the sand automatically goes into the water anyway. So you see the blue that we have here, start to go over the top of your line so you don't have these harsh segments of the painting. You want it to start to blend. So take your sand, fill in your area, and then start to go over these sections. And again, by pulling paint one way and pushing paint another. So you're pulling paint down or you're pulling paint up. See, everyone's working away. Rachel and Jen, Catherine. Brilliant. Good. Now is a good time to just look at it and see what you like and what you don't like. With that dirty sandy color, you can go over your orange to soften it so it's not as harsh in the very headland. That's what I'm doing. You can look at your horizon and think, right, I want to add more navy in there. Oh, it's getting prettier. It's nice. Well done, everyone. Okay. Right. So now is our turquoise. Okay. If you want me to make a turquoise again, just so everyone can see, or if you still have it from earlier, go for it. But turquoise is blue, mostly blue. Clean your brush with a little bit of yellow. Mix it fully. Don't let it have wee stripes through it. Mix it fully. Don't care what you mix as long as you mix it fully. Right? And that's where you get this greeny blue color. Clean your brush again. And a decent amount of white onto that. And you start to get turquoise. I'm going to take, just to confuse you all a little bit more, I'm going to take a little bit more blue and bring it back in to that to make it darker again. So it's this color, because I actually want it to be, this will do for now. So whatever turquoise you have, load it onto your brush with some water on it. Remember your waterline, even if you have drawn or painted over it with this sand a little bit, that's good. Your waterline, remember where that is, remember where your navy is, and the bit in between is where you're going to apply this turquoise. So again, just commit to it. Sometimes the way turquoise is, because it's mixed with white has a lovely chalky feel about it, so it'll be a little bit less transparent in parts, and in other parts where you've lots of water, you can make it more transparent, but I just think it'll add a lovely depth to what you've got. But try to blend the two. Doesn't matter, look, see the way mine have some gappy bits? That's totally fine, as long as you have your colours and enough water in your brush. If yours is a real greeny turquoise as well, even better, great. Now, once you bring it down to the sand, that's where you have the water on your brush. And that's where the waves are. But you see right at your lines, not to be like a primary school teacher, tend to the line, you need to stay in the lines, but I would like you to fill in each colour to match to reach the other colour. So that means filling in your lines. Oh, lovely. Very nice. Well done. Now, I don't have any left, so I'm going to mix another bit of turquoise for the bottom left. If you're ahead, please add that in. And again, just consider your, you know, this is the bit we're doing now, the last bit here. That is going to be the bottom left bit. So it doesn't matter if my turquoise is slightly different shade, because water is not all one block color either. So turquoise. And if you have a really dark turquoise as well, I'm going to add that in a wee bit more there on top of that where the navy is, just so it's a wee bit more, because you'll see the clouds whenever we add those in. And to make the turquoise darker, you just add the blue, but I'm going to add in my turquoise water over here. The water meets the island, if that makes it easier, if you're starting to get lost where all the water comes up to here. If you're feeling up to it, do sort of allow a lot of water on so you can see how the drips start to go. It can be really fun to see the way that the paint merges and moves, especially when you're working with water, because water's so glassy. Lovely. Good work, everyone. I always feel so jealous that I've used a Sharpie, because all I see are these big dominant lines in mine, but I know whenever you show me yours, they'll be lovely and soft with the pencil. Good. Take a breather, take a drink if you want to. Have a look at it. Have a look at all the colours you've mixed too. It's a lot of colours. Oh, Pat, you've got some fizz. Love it. Happy birthday to you too. I almost was meeting with your daughter, Pat, tonight, and then I remembered I had this on. Did she tell you? No?
Sorry, I had to unmute.
Yes, please. Well, it's Sarah's 40th, and we were on a group chat with Jennifer to meet up this Friday night. And I said, yeah, sure. I've just got football matches. And then the next day I was like, no, I'm working. She said, yeah, I thought Mum was working when Mum was going to your. So, yeah.
Did she tell you I had to do doggy day spa for Lola to get her away from Tilly?
I'm not surprised. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mix a brown. Well done on getting this far. This is, we're in the home straight. You're doing really well. enjoy the color mixing. If you've decided, right, I looked at that and I want to make this bit lighter and I want to, please do. This is your time to just use your phone with the image or to freestyle and be like, I've got my own flair. Otherwise, let's go for making a brown. So the way that you mix brown, which is really helpful for everybody anyway, I think. A lot of people don't know it. Shop bought brown, you will never need to do again. Brown is your 3 primary colors mixed together. So a little bit of yellow, clean your brush, a little bit of blue, clean your brush, and a little bit of red, and mix the 3 together. Again, it might be that aubergine sort of color. If it is, add a little bit more blue and you will get a darker brown. And you can add a little bit more yellow if you want to make it a more earthy brown. Okay, mix them just all together. To make it a more muted brown, dip into your black and add a little bit of black to it. And I love that. Then you start to get it much more. Okay, well done. Mix till you get a solid color. Okay. I don't know how to add the brown in yet. Our purples are so nice. If you want, just I really love the purple in mine. You can use the brown to dab in where the darkest purple was. If you feel like you'd rather have it a bit more of the traditional feel of it, you can just add in along here on top of your turquoise. See there, you're just making it a bit darker. And the same with over here. But otherwise, we're going to make a lighter version of it and then we're going to use it for the sand, which is what I'd originally thought about. Right, you need very little of the brown on your brush, but you need quite a bit of the white. And you're going to take some white and mix it into one side of the brown. So you get this very, it's nearly like a mocha color. Again, you might be like, what are you talking about, Ali? So really to go back to the start of that, it is red, blue, and yellow with a little bit of black and some white. Okay, and with that, you're going to add that in your sand along the bottom. You can make it really light if you like really, really light. So lots of white into that. So it starts to get, you'll see how bright mine is. So really bright here like this. It's nearly like a, so it's a really, lots of white in with your brown. And it's just about tone now. And that's going to be the sand. Up at the top is going to be my light sand. And a little bit above the grass over here. And then remember to blend these two. And see right over here, because this beach is away around here as well, this is going to be, you're going to add in a wee bit of the mocha there, just a little line in the bottom, just above the horizon there. So this can also act as cliffs. If you're ever doing like cliffs on a headland, you're just using that mocha color to add in a little bit there. We're going to just add a little bit more to the sea. So that's the turquoise again, but you're going to add a lot more white to that if you still have it. So you're making it, if you're really, really stuck, you can do a light blue and add a tiny bit of yellow to it. But if you do have your turquoise left, you're going to make as light. So there was the mocha, really, really light. These are all our finishers. So you finish with the lights and the darks, but we're going to use the light turquoise. So turquoise was blue with a little bit of yellow, tiny bit of yellow, and then lots of white. And what that's going to do is that's going to meet that light sand. It's a bit like tropical. It's over here. So where are we? Brush on its sand again above where here up the sand is, okay? Starting to bring it in because the water, it starts to blend where the water and the sand are, and you can bring that light up into the darker turquoise. And again, use your water to do so. And same with over here. You want this to be, this is the curve here. So let that blend on the bottom left-hand side, really like turquoise. And bring it over the sand if you like to. These are trickier parts. So this is like, I'm giving you this as a lead, but if you're like, nope, I don't want to add that to my painting, that's okay. I like there to be layers, as you can see. So, but use your water and your brush to blend. There we go. So pretty. Okay. One of my students always laughs at me because I say, if in doubt, go darker. You can finish around here if you want. I'm going to use the navy again to make this a little bit darker here and to work into the headland a little bit. You can ask me any questions now if you have any, or you can hold them up and let me see what if you're like, no, I don't want to finish here. But the option is if you want to finish here, I would love you to use bright white straight out of the pot to add in some clouds. Otherwise, you can revisit here the navy with me, and then we're going to add just a little bit of texture and lemon yellow to the headland before we add white and grey. So that is your option. Just don't want anyone to feel, because at the minute you do have a good solid picture, it's when to walk away from a painting, isn't it? That's what they say. Never walk away. I'm going to bring the navy back up. So if you want to do navy again with me, what this is just going to do is it's just going to push the sea back a little bit more. So navy, you'll probably never forget now, is blue with a little bit of black. So get that really solid navy color and take it back to where the headland is. One other tip for you is the headland is often mirrored into the sand or into the water. So that's another way to do it. You'll see one of the YouTubes I put on recently. So the likes of this headland here on the far left, if you envision it being in a mirror underneath. So you can draw an see an invisible line underneath as if that has been mirrored into the water. It's a good way to do it. But mostly dark right up there where it meets the sea. And I'm also using some navy in that headland. And the same with here, navy over here. Oh. It is a lot of brain power. You've done really well to, I've actually red cheeks here with it. Lemon to finish and then white. We don't even need our greys, I don't think, because we used the greys down here. So I like to push it right to the very end. Lemon is, as you would imagine, yellow with a little bit of, with a lot of white, sorry. Lemon was, sorry, yellow with a lot of white. And a bit like the mocha and a bit like that navy, or the pardon me, the turquoise, you want it to be so white. It's almost like the white of a wall with a tiny glint of yellow in it. And all I'm going to use that for is just along the beach a little bit, or add in a few waves, but turn the brush on its side if you want. And you're just starting to add in ripples, like I'm using my finger to blend that too. You just don't want to overkill. And looking at all little areas, like remember your lime green grass? You can add a few little dots of the lemon on there, or in the foreground. You can do add some water in your brush, and you can do some spikes of grass in the headland if you like, on the foreground, in the foreground. It's just softer than white. Well done. Very last thing is just bright white for your clouds. Now, put a lot of water in your brush if you're like, what am I going to do to this sky? Good way to start. Clouds hang around the top of the mountains, and you will already have a bit lighter around here. So you can just add in, turn your brush on its side, just add in a few that way. Or if you want to do some big gestural ones, you can turn the brush again on the thick side, and then you can soften it with the water. But it is entirely up to you. Just remember, a bit like the headland, it will mirror into the sea, so you can just touch a wee bit of white on there too to show that the clouds are in the sea as well. And just have a look at it. Look and see if you're happy. Well done, everyone. Made it to the finish line.
Ollie,
Yes.
Sorry.
Nicola.
I missed the lemon. Where was the lemon? Where's
So
the
the lemon, yes, no, of course, the lemon was just where your lime green is. So you're just adding
Oh.
a few little touches there. And then on the bottom right, I was implying that there's some grass growing here. So
Cool. Thank you.
you're welcome. Good to see you. Patricia, how are you getting on? Where's Patricia?
I got very, very left behind there. It's my first time.
I know it is very fast paced. Can
Sorry,
I
and I
help
have
you?
a dog.
That's okay. You heard my dog there too. Can
and
I
he's
just
old. Yeah, sorry.
ask any questions?
I must be about 4 or 5 steps back,
That's
in my
okay.
colours.
A lot of those colours were the finishers, so that is very, and it is like, look at how many colours we've made.
Yeah.
So the if you are near the end, then all you're really thinking about is the light. So the white was the last one, and the lemon, and then the dark navy was just to add in. The dark navy was just an extra.
Yeah.
But to finish off, you can just add in your clouds in the sky and just reflect those into the water. Oh, hello, pup. And then lastly was just if you want to add the lemon, but you don't have to. Oh, there you are. Hi, Patricia.
Hi, sorry. He's a very old dog, and he goes funny about this. He needs his tablets about this time of night.
Oh, bless. Well, well done for keeping up though anyway. But if you want me to see it now, you if you're 4 steps behind, then you've still, if you think this is about it's about a 90-step program, I should probably call it that. So you've done well to get to this.
Yeah, the colours have gone sort of, I don't think my colours are right.
Okay. Is your camera's off again?
I just don't want you having, I don't want you having the dog barking in the background.
That's okay. Well, do you have all the colours on?
Not quite. Let me just see if I can settle him, okay? Sorry
Yes,
about
that's
that.
all right.
Sorry to everybody else.
Don't be silly. Well done, everybody. We are at the end. The one thing I would say as well is if you want to use your pencil to go over it the way I was talking about at the start, obviously I would really like you to sign it and then frame it, because that's a given. Well done. Oh yes, I'm getting to see everybody's now. Yeah, please do. I would love to see them. Beautiful work. look at that. Gorgeous. I can recognize them all as Narin as well. Louise, well done. Pat, lovely. Catherine. Oh, look at the blends of these. Pauline. Everyone's sand as well. Oh, that's good. I've had a memory blank of Emma's mum. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Emma's mum, that's what you're gonna total memory blank. But look at your beauty. Did you use canvas for that as well? Gorgeous, and it's big as well. It's lovely. You're on mute there. That's the only thing. Anyone else? Rachel, well done.
Can I ask one thing, Ali? Sorry.
Yes, where are we, Emma? Is that Emma?
Yeah, sorry. You know the way that the between the sand and the sea looks a bit crap.
Doesn't-
Is there a good way to sort of, you
Yes.
know,
So that is where we
Go
did
ahead.
yep. So let me see yours there. We see. So that is where your light colors can come in. So you see like the lemon or the
Okay.
the mocha color.
okay,
So brown. So that is your three colors with a little bit of black and then lots of white.
okay. Thank
Well
you.
done, Lauren. And then, so if you just add that in and then your lemons too. So really what you're doing is you're just even lots of water on there. You're just blending them in. But it is a lot. A lot's very bad language, isn't it? But it is a whole lot to deal with. Danielle, that's gorgeous. I love the little side of your canvas too. Well done, Anne. Oh, lovely. Yeah, have a pat, give yourselves a pat in the back. Has anybody any other questions? You probably need like a walk or something after that. Could I, just because it's my last one, are you happy to hold it up? You can even cover your face. Are you happy for me to take an image if everyone holds it up? I would love to have.
Is it okay if I leave mine because it's really not right at the moment?
Yes, Patricia, not a problem. Not a problem.
Okay. Yeah. fine.
And there's two screens, so if you just hold it till I take the first and the second, because basically what happened was we got ourselves through lockdown with this, and now we all are back to having a life again. But I'm so happy that everyone's here. Right, if you can cover your face, show your face, whatever you like. 3, 2, 1. If you're happy to hold them up, that would be amazing. Let me see. I'll go this page. Let me see. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, and then I'm going to do the other page. Well done. Can you see everybody's as well? Everybody else's? How the blends, and Rachel, Mark and Ruth are lovely. And Nicola. Good work. It's a lot to follow. I really appreciate your time and your efforts as well, especially following along with my teaching style, which is I like to load a lot on. If you do want to know how to finish it and you're like, I just didn't catch it, we do have the recording because I pressed record. Another thing is on my YouTube, there is a video called, Ruth just put it on this week, it's called Finishers, and that will show you how to finish. We've crammed it into 3 minutes, but it sort of summarizes that little bit, not in as much detail, but for you to be able to look at. And because Sharon is probably still on and watch me, I'm going to say the subscription is coming, and that's rather than like £20 for one night, I'm going to be teaching you if you've decided you're like, this is it, I want to keep painting. It's going to be £20 a month, and it's 4 videos, and you can watch them when you want, and then we do a live Q&A. Because the lovely thing about this is people have really been enjoying it and embracing it and wanting to learn from me, so I'm willing to teach, and it just feels like it fits better with your schedule rather than me saying, can you please come on a Friday night? So
the link is in the chat. Sharon put the link in the chat.
Oh, did, of course she did. So the link's in the chat if you want to go and look at that and what there is. There's the whole spiel about why I want to do it and everything. But thank you. Oh, Anne, last name, so sad, last name. Oh, Anne sad. And the bluebells behind me. Thank you. Yes. But there'll be more.
Hi.
Weekend. Yes. Oh,
Sorry, just free go. See the pencil. See if you wanted to do pencil.
Mhm.
Where would you suggest doing the, like, just
Okay,
over the
I
hills
love
and stuff?
whenever
I love
people-
a bit of a pencil.
yeah, great.
Yeah, so
So if you want to join me in the pencil, you can. So pencil, what you're doing is you're thinking about the lines that you have at the very beginning, and you're basically going over those, but in a very loose manner. And the same way you're creating waves here. Same with your cloud, you're rimming the clouds, and then detail in the water. So ripples in the water, or you're implying that there's little, it's really just same with here. You can grow some grass there if you want, or some. It's a scoot round with a pencil, really, is what it is. Any other questions or? Yes, Pauline, do you want to unmute yourself, Pauline? Oh, is it possible to watch the video of tonight? Yes, Patricia, I was just saying it's going to be recorded. Pauline, can you unmute yourself? Let me see, you're on, yeah, can you take yourself off? No. Can't believe we got through a whole class without the, there you go. Hi,
Right.
Pauline.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, oh great. When are you starting your what is it? The unintentional artist course?
That's what it's called. You see, you're like promoting me here without me. That's what that's what it's called, Pauline. It's called.
Yes.
I always just get nervous because I would rather just give everybody the information for free. So it's £20 a month, and it's called The Unintentional Artist, and
Yes.
it is starting in June. So we have one more week. If you click the link
Oh,
that Sharon
Link?
has, yes, she has put the link there, and that'll take you to it, and it just says a little bit about what it is. But there'll be 4 videos a month between 15 minutes and 45 minutes.
Yes.
The only way I can put it is the workshop is like, whoom, whereas I love teaching and want to
Yeah.
be able to take you into, so you're an unintentional artist, so we can break down headlands and we can break
Yes.
down skills.
Yes.
Charts.
Yes, I would love that. So the first week in June.
Yes, so I think what's going to happen is Sharon will send it out to all of you, and if you want, you
Right.
can ignore it, and if not, you can. I think you can go on and actually sign up now. It is there.
Yes. Great. Great.
Oh, I
Lovely.
really appreciate that. Because
Okey-doke.
yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I've already people on there, so I've decided if like 2 people are all I ever have to teach them, my job is done. I'll keep painting.
Great.
So thank you for your interest.
Right.
And
Lovely. Thank you,
have
Alan.
a lovely evening, everybody.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
And thank you. And the recording will definitely come to you, so you can watch it again.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Sally.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
You're so welcome. Thank you.